Hey, hey, hey. We are here kicking off Black History Month with one of my favorite people in the entire world. And full disclosure, this is my friend.
That's right.
She writes, listen, I'm just saying, we have bonded through COVID, okay?
I mean,
We
you're
have
not
met
lying
in
right
real
there.
life. Like this
We
is
have
this is
hugged.
legit, my friend right here. We have hugged, we have ate together. Like, yes. She writes some of the sweetest, most sensual, and hilarious romances you will ever read. There's a way that she digs into your psyche and has you rooting for people or wishing their demise. It just depends on like what you're reading. Let's be honest. But like you'll never meet these people in real life because they are fictional characters.
Right.
Yet somehow she does it. She's been in the game for a while and has this adorable winery based romance series coming up. So I would like to welcome Mia Heintzelman to Rae's Corner.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Round of applause.
Absolutely. I'm so excited. Okay, so like let's be real. You wear so many hats. You are not only a
Right.
mom, like of real humans, but also a dog mom.
Well, that part, yeah.
you right? You're
Little
a
nose
wife,
is
you're
looking
an
at me now.
author. Oh, I love doggies. You're a wife, you're an author, you're a cover designer. You listen, you highlight, you started a show. Well, I guess it's more of like a highlight, but in reading color to highlight authors of color who, we be getting snubbed. So let's be honest.
I
You
mean, that's
do
true.
so much. So like, how do I even begin this? um, of course, we're going to begin with your upcoming release, The Accidental Crush with Thule that you are releasing. So I'm going to just give like a little snippet of the blurb so people know what we're talking about.
Okay.
And it's like one of my favorite little parts of it too. Okay. So there's this Galentine's brunch happening, okay? And it's a smash and success. Except for the woman hiding in the corner with her phone who's convinced he's an escort. He being Dante. He was hired supposedly, right? Hired by her helpful sister circle. And soon, laughter, undeniable chemistry, and an unforgettable night lead Dante to hire Morgan to help save the vineyard. She accepts under one condition: is strictly business.
This is
Mia.
romance. So we already know they tell themselves all the lies, okay? This is romance.
Listen, like I'm so excited. So okay, this book comes out February 6th, so like right around the corner. And obviously, it's gonna be all the delicious things of like wineries and friendships and nosy people and
Yeah.
just I'm so excited. So like as authors, we tend to lend from our life and put something in a book. Did you do this with this book? Did you do that with this book?
Well, I mean, there's always pieces of me in the books, right? Um, for instance, Morgan is a workaholic, right? She's got every device. She is leashed to her devices. She's got the Apple Watch, the iPad, the laptop. Everything is just ringing all over the place because she's always on, always doing business. That part straight out of my life right there because I work in my
Absolutely.
car wherever I got to work to get it done, right? In between pickups and all this stuff. Now, have I gone to a vineyard and fallen for, a wealthy vintner? No, that did not happen. My husband is not a wine aficionado. No. So that never happened. Most of that is my imagination, but I am a hopeless romantic and a sucker for a happy ending. So all that's me throwing those moments in there. Yes.
Absolutely. So, like, what sparked this particular series? Because you got a lot under your belt, which we'll get to. But what sparked
Thank
this
you.
one?
This one, I had this idea for this vineyard and a big family, kind of like Succession, where you've got all these moving parts of this big family, and I really wanted to highlight them. So I've got three brothers and a sister, and then there's the matriarch of the family, Victoria Fortemani. She's just very just luxurious and elegant, and everything about her is just, she's expensive. And I love her because she's like, darling, come on, and I just like,
Look,
yes,
black
I loved
excellence,
her.
okay?
And yes, absolutely. And she's got her kids, and she is the matriarch, so she is in charge of everything. But I wondered what it'd be like with each one of those siblings falling in love. So we're going to start now. Dante is not the oldest, Dante is the second oldest. And
Ooh.
they've got their late father, late grandfather. So I touch on heavy topics, but I find the joy around it. You know what I mean? So I was really eager to get this family underway and see what would happen. So we start with Dante. Next, I don't know if you saw, because today's the last. Oh, we just had the Barnes and Noble sale that was going on, and I revealed the cover for the second book, which is Stefano and Avery. They're coming, and people are
Yes.
really excited about that, and I'm excited too. But
Yes.
yeah,
We're
so
gonna touch on that one later. I have some questions about that one. I was reading
indeed,
that blurb. I had to snatch up that during that Barnes and Noble sale. Although I planned on doing it anyway, let's be honest. But like I was like, oh, let me get this right now.
right.
Okay, so there's something to be said about like whenever we have wine or traveling or food or something in a book, right? So this one is
Hmm.
a winery based. Therefore,
Yes.
I need to know your favorite wine.
Well, I'm not like such a big drinker.
I
Like,
know, which is what makes this
I can handle
interesting.
one drink and I'm pretty good to go. My husband always says that I'm a cheap drunk, which we don't even need to get to the drunk part. One glass is all I can handle, and when I do have it, it's Moscato. I love myself a sweet Moscato. They've got so many different flavors of Moscato now, so I've got that. If there's no Moscato on the menu, I'll take a Riesling.
Yeah, so you're a
I need the
semi-sweet
sweetness.
girl.
Yes,
Hmm.
I can't.
Which
Like,
makes so
I'll
much
try the
sense for
red, but
your
it just,
writing.
yes, give me all this sugar.
Give me all that saccharine love.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so I just want to shift gears just slightly back to the fact that you wear all those hats that we mentioned. And of course, you have already said you're a workaholic. So just a reminder for folks.
I'm trying not to be though.
We're going to get to that too. Oh, yeah, you know me. But because you wear all these hats, and this series is the first one in this particular series, you did these covers though. And seeing as though this is like a traditionally published book, that's
Uh
not
huh.
something that always happens. So, like,
Correct.
how was, if you could talk about it, how was that process of like being able to do your covers, have your words in that wrapped around that cover? Like, what is that feeling and what was that process like?
Well, I started doing covers with my little company dot covers, mostly to just, it was cost efficient when you're self-publishing. You have to pay for your covers, get your editing. There's so many hats you have to wear if you're a self-published author, period. So I had already been doing it, and then I got some larger publishers that started to use me for other authors covers. So that was great. So then when it came time to do the Love and Games series, um, I put my name in the hat. Since I already know the characters, I already have a vision. I'm always thinking marketing. That it just comes with the territory, especially as an indie author. But now being hybrid, I felt like, okay, who knows the vision better and how to place it? Because I'm always paying attention to the market, of how to
Mm-hmm.
do so. So I put my name in the hat, and Thule said yes. So I was like, awesome, let's keep doing this. And so I'm doing the covers also for the Fortemani Family series.
And see, we were going to get to some of the other series a little bit later, but let's talk about Loving Games for a second because how adorable is like Monopoly Love? Like, first off, your
It's one of
titles
my
are so
favorites.
cute. Your
Well,
titles are so cute,
I'm
but
like
then,
so corny. So I love that corny, sweet stuff.
yeah, but it's just like you got your Trivial Pursuit in there, you got your Monopoly. Like, you were not playing. You was like, I'm gonna give y'all a twist on the love right there. But like you wrote those lovely words, those characters. Again, you touch on you have this ability to give us something that technically you wouldn't think you'd see in a romance, which I think lends to the fact that that's more reality based.
Right.
Because you don't want like who lives a life where everything is just sugar plum trees and rainbows.
No, no one.
That's not accurate. So like being able to put that real bit of life in there, you did that in that series, and you've done that in plenty of series, like every series that you have out. But like being able to do that in something that's so fun, because these are still rom-coms. Like how do you do that?
Yeah, because that's what life is. It's taking a little bit of the good and the hard times and just mashing them together. And the way I view rom-coms is that I'm going to do 50% rom, so that's that, and 50% com, but there's also going to be life, things that happen to you. If we're going to have three-dimensional characters, they have to have gone through something, and they're still going through
Mm-hmm.
things if we're going to feel three-dimensional on the page. So for instance, if we're taking Loving Games with Monopoly into play, you know, she's got, daddy situations going on, and he's got the loss of his grandfather. You don't just stop having hard times or life events happen just because you start falling in love. So I try to put those on the page if possible.
Very much true. Very, very,
Hmm.
very much true.
Along
Especially
with
as
everything in the
authors, we
kitchen
have
sink.
to, right? Listen, you do that. You definitely do that. But it's just like, as authors, we are also living those lives in a way that we're putting on the page. Like
Correct.
it's different because it's our reality versus our fictional reality, quote
Hmm.
unquote, for those who can't see the video. But given that, and again, your female characters tend to be workaholics. We all have a little crutch that we have, right?
You're not wrong about that, because I have noticed the pattern that, well, I like to say I write strong female characters because they are passionate and they're also business minded, and they are
Mm-hmm.
not just dilly dallying through life. They've got goals, which
Mm-mm.
I'm goal oriented, I'm solution oriented. So they all tend to be very strong. Even with the game stores, in Loving Games, they own Loving Games,
Mm-hmm.
and so they're building it up. And that's just life. I mean, I haven't done, well, I shouldn't say I haven't done a stay at home mom yet. That's a
Yet.
hint.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. See, listen, we getting drop little gems here and there. But
Yeah.
side note,
Hopefully, over my
because
career, I'll get a little bit of everybody in there. That's the goal.
exactly. I mean, we pull from life, even if it's like an experience that we went through ourselves or friends or something that we saw, like we can pull from that and build something from it. And like I think
Right.
that's what makes a strong writer, and you do
Yeah.
that well. Um,
Thank you.
but to the note of being just a little bit of a workaholic, we gonna talk about self care.
Are you about to call me out publicly? Dang.
The, the question was simply, you called yourself out. The question simply was, what do you do because you wear so many hats? And I have this problem myself, like remembering that it's okay to not do something, like taking a
Right.
moment and breathing. What do you do? Like, what is your self care routine? What's something that helps you stay grounded and not get too overwhelmed?
Okay. I just want to say right off the bat that 2024, I've been trying to be intentional about self care and being cognizant of it. When I see
Yeah.
myself, because it is such a habit of mine to just be like, oh, well, I can do this too. Let's add this to the plate. And then my plate is overflowing, and I'm trying to be intentional about not adding additional items to my plate until I've removed a certain percent or number of items from my plate. So, like,
Right.
I've already come up with so many ideas of things that I can do, but I'm saying no right now until I have more done. So, some of the things that I've been doing is number one, but also like weekends, I try not to work as much. That's family time, and I'm trying to protect that. Um, Other than that, I've been watching some TV. Some shows.
well,
Okay, I've been
well,
watching lots of shows, and it's not like my brain turns off. So it's not like I don't have my notes app open for like ideas. I can't let them go because that's just who I am. I hold on to ideas. I have an entire idea file, and when they show up, I got to write them down. That's it.
I mean, I think that's good though, because you're still taking a break. It's just you can't turn your brain off. Like
Yeah,
when they figure out how to do that, they got to let the rest of humanity know. But at the moment, you can't turn your brain off. Even when you're asleep, like your dreams give you ideas.
that's the worst time right there. Right when you try to go to sleep, all the
You're like, let me
ideas show
wake
up.
up. Let me go grab my notebook. Where is it? um, so just in that same kind of vein, we know that younger writers, me being one myself technically, younger writers in the position of their career, not like age wise,
Right.
but younger, I guess early career writers. Let's change that wording. Early career writers, what is something that you like a piece of advice you wish you had when you were starting out? Because getting your foot in the door, self published or traditionally published or hybrid,
Hmm.
any kind of way, it's hard. It's not an easy thing to do. Like people are like, oh yeah,
Right.
I just threw this book up, or oh yeah, I just
Yeah.
got this, big deal. Like that's not typical. So like, what's something you
Right.
wish you knew when you were starting out?
A couple of things. Okay, the number one thing that I always wish I knew and that I try to tell other people is that everybody's going to have some surefire thing that worked for them that they're going to say, you need
Mm-hmm.
to do this, that, and this. It doesn't work the same for every person or every author. You can listen to those, but then you pick out what works for you and throw the rest back. Don't be afraid to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it worked for somebody else, it does not guarantee that it'll work for you. So you just go from there. And then another thing is to always continue working on your craft, right? I'm a craft book junkie. I'm not even going to deny that. I have so many because it doesn't have to be expensive where you're like, oh, I've got to take this course that's $700 or, oh, I've got to go back to
Mm-hmm.
school. Maybe you don't have the means to do that, right? But you can grab a book from your library or you can get the ebook or you can borrow it from somebody and have your craft books that are a lot less expensive and you can learn and you can get better with each book. But you got to keep writing. And if you finish a book, reward yourself and know that you're already ahead right there because you actually finished it and go to the next one. This one may not be the hit that you hoped it was, but keep writing and be creative. That's
I
it.
know that's right.
I mean, you just got
I
to
know
keep
that's
writing,
right.
you know?
Yeah.
And that sounds easier said than done, but you're going to be vulnerable to because you're
Mm-hmm.
putting something out for other people to judge. But I like to, quote Big Magic and Elizabeth Gilbert. She says, like, as a writer, once you put the book out, you've already finished your end of the bargain. Now it belongs to the readers, and that's for them. And you move on to the
Mm-hmm.
next book because that's your job. That's your half of the contract. That's it.
I love that too because like
Yeah.
we forget that we're just like it has
Hmm.
to be perfect. It has to be perfect, and perfect
Yeah,
doesn't
and I'm
exist.
guilty. I mean, it doesn't stop you from trying to get it as good as possible, but at some point you have to say, I've done enough. It's never going to be 100% perfect. It's good enough for me and I love it. So I'm putting it out there and I'm
I
moving
hope
to the
you guys
next
love
book.
it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you hope that you're going to resonate with as many people as possible, but that's not always going to be the case. And as soon as you realize that, you can keep writing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, the self-doubt
Sound
doesn't go away
advice.
though. The self-doubt never goes away. It's always there. But you just be like, look, you just be quiet over here. You can come for the ride, but you be quiet.
Right? Like, hold on. Get in the back seat, strap
Right.
in, hydrate, take a nap.
Yeah.
It's a long road trip.
Right.
So let's do something fun really quick. I have a game.
Ooh, I
You
love a
want
game.
to play?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I love a
So I
game.
want you to grab a book,
Any book?
any book,
Ta-da! Okay.
as she reaches for the accidental crush.
Well, you said any book.
Right? So tell me, tell me the name of the book for those.
The
Obviously, I just
Accidental
said it, but you know what
Crush
I mean.
by Mia Heintzelman.
Yes. Okay, so now flip to page. We're real men's authors, so of course,
Ooh,
flip to page 69.
ooh, I knew you were gonna say that. I'm ready.
Read me your first quote on that page.
Not the marital quilt, but that's it.
Without context.
Oh
Well, the
yeah,
question was, the question was like,
girl.
what was that all about?
Well, you don't want to be laying under Nona's quilt, marital quilt, with just any woman, because that
Oh,
means that's the woman you're gonna end up with. You
oh,
don't just
oh.
accidentally get under that quilt. And he was like, well, she was cold. Oh, okay. Well, you didn't take your ex-girlfriend under Nona's quilt. Mm.
Ooh.
Boop.
See, you're making it all worth it. Y'all, days. This book is days away. If you don't have your pre-order.
Dang, why you say it like that? That makes me so nervous whenever I think, oh God, it's like a week, like almost a week away. That's a lot of
Is it?
pressure. No,
You'll be
almost. It's a
fine.
little over a week, but that's not the point. It just feels like it's rushing towards me. Ah,
It's almost
lovely.
time. It's fine. It's fine. It's going to be great. But like, so just that little gem. I love being able to
I
just
like
get a
this
little
game.
something out of context, right? Something a little out of
Yeah,
context, and then like, bam, what was that about? So there's another
that
little
was
part,
fun.
another little game. Want to play one more little game?
Okay.
This year has so many. First off, we always have a bunch of debuts, but like this year seems to have so many fascinating debuts that I'm
Yes.
so excited for, and so
Mm-hmm.
many next installments to series, or
Yes.
starts of new series from like established authors as well. But what's one debut that you're looking forward to, and one new book from a author that you already read that's coming out this year? So give me two books.
That feels so rude. Like, you know how many books that
Just
are coming out that I
I
gotta.
know, but just name one that you're so like.
Okay.
Obviously,
Boom.
look, I already
Can
have
I
a
shout
list
out
of
a
like
friend that's a debut
all of
then?
these.
My friend Carmen Lee has the 710 split coming out that I'm super excited for.
Yes.
And you know me, if there's one thing I'm gonna do, it's gonna be root for my friends. I am gonna be rooting, not just my friends, but people who I know been working hard and finally they're getting their flowers and their spotlight that they deserve. So I'm a root for her. Uh 710 split,
It comes
Carmen
out
Lee.
in May, and
Yes.
actually, Carmen Lee will be on the show later, so get excited for that. It's a
Okay.
cute little bowling ball romance, sapphic, y'all. So dropping that line, get ready. Okay,
Okay.
so yes,
And
and
then
Carmen writes great, so there's that too.
okay, an
Now,
established author. How am I not going to say it? Kennedy Ryan's This
yes,
Could Be Us. I've already read it. It comes out March 5th, which is the day before my birthday. But I'm still
yes,
going to be
it
shouting
is.
it out on March 5th
Yes.
because it was really good. And I felt really emotionally attached to that book. And the other thing, one another goal I had this year was to actually read just for joy, like to savor it and not rush through a book
Yes.
because it just feels like everybody's got these lofty goals. I can't do the lofty goals because I'm writing books at the
Mm.
same time, but I can read one and take my time and really enjoy it. And I did that with this one. And it made it so much better. I wasn't rushing through it. I just like you can close the book for a minute and just think about what they just said or what they just did. And you know what I mean? And it was just so good. You, of course,
Yes.
you're gonna laugh. You're gonna cry. You're gonna be rolling your eyes, giving hard side eyes to some characters. I was only 15% in, and I was already like, I hate him. But there's so many good things, but you do feel like you know the people. So yeah, lots of things to be excited about. Lots of
Yes.
books coming out
I'm
that are good.
very, very excited about that one as well. Miss Kennedy Ryan. Listen, if there's one thing that certain people can do,
Mm-hmm.
Kennedy Ryan being one of them, yourself being another, Carmen Lee being
Yeah.
another, let's Alyssa Cole, like the list is long.
Ooh, I'm
It's
excited about
right.
her book too.
Oh, listen, I'm so excited for that one. I saw like
Like,
all the promo that be coming up on my
yes.
social media from Alyssa. I'm like,
Kelly Garrett
oh
just
my
showed that she
god,
got the book. And I was like, Why are you so
Like
lucky? Can
Reese's.
I get it too? But
But like,
I'm
it's
gonna get it
one
when it
thing
comes
that
out.
y'all gonna do. One thing that a writer who really likes what they do, what they gonna do is right, and y'all
Absolutely.
do that. And like, there's plenty of people in that category. Like the list is exhaust. Like there's no exhausting that list.
Oh,
But
I can make a
oh,
like make you a list right now of books I'm ready to come out. You asked for two, and that was very difficult, but that was off the top of my head. I've got so
oh
many
no, absolutely.
that
I
I'm
was actually
excited
gonna be
about.
like, name me another debut.
Another debut. Can I go again? Mika,
Yeah.
Love and Sports Ball. We've been talking about this book for so long, and I'm so excited about it. Come on with it because I cannot wait for the world to see what I've been hearing about.
Oh my. So
Yeah.
I actually got to read that book. I got to read Mika James's Love and Sports Ball that's coming out in September,
Did you yell at her
and
heroine?
I was like, "What are you doing? Just get together already!" Oh my gosh,
Right.
it's so good. It's gonna have you like, you're just gonna be like, "Oh, I get it. Oh, I feel that
Yep.
in my chest."
Yep.
Also, stop playing games.
This is
It's
what I'm
so
saying.
adorable. It's so
I'm
cute, and
also
I
excited
love
for
that.
Tia Williams has a love song for
Oh,
Ricky Wilde coming. Maya Ariel has what was that? That's the way love. I had to think of the Janet Jackson song because that's how I remember the title. She has that one coming out. There's so many books coming out,
there's
and
so many.
I'm excited for what we've got
It's
coming.
hard. Like, this is a
Yeah.
good year. It's a good year. It's usually a good year, but like, something about this year feels like people are standing, they own their business. They are just like,
Yes.
oh no, obviously these things have been done and created, and were already in the works well before now. But like, this year
Absolutely.
just seems to have this bar that is just like, whoo, 2025 better bring it, because 2024 ain't playing.
Look, I'm not even thinking about 2025. I'm thinking about 2024 because I'm trying to be present and stop thinking so far. Sometimes because that's what I do because I add things to my list and I'm like, "Ooh, well let me add this. This will be for 2025. This will be for 2026." I'm trying to just
Oh
let
yeah,
me be
you're
grounded. Let
right.
me be grounded.
I think this is like, and I get that. You're right. I think that this in particular is more of that reaching for joy. Like, what is something I love?
Yes.
And okay, so now I'm excited because this thing that I love has something else coming out. So I'm looking forward to it,
Yes.
to hold on to that joy.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. So back to your books. We know that you write these very cute rom-coms, but you also have some darker stuff. Like, you have some indie things that you've done. So
Yep.
tell me about another, like one of those darker books. And I'm thinking of one, but I don't know if it's the one you're
I
gonna
already
think
know
of.
what you're talking about. Devastated.
I love that book.
You know what's so
But just
funny?
tell me about
You're
like
not the
how it
only
is to
person who
switch
asked me about
gears
that. Well, I haven't really switched gears because
in a
let me just
while,
tell
but
you.
like,
Okay, 2020 was one of those years with the pandemic. Everybody was home, everybody was motivated. Let me see how I can just pick myself up in these dark times and just do it. I put out so many books in 2020, it's not even funny. Okay, I don't know who I thought I was, but I was doing a lot.
you're
But I
Mia.
wrote Devastated, and it's a dark romance. Yes, there are going to be more in that series. I just have not had time because I didn't anticipate that I was going to get a contract for three books on the first Thule contract, right? But
Mhm.
then the second contract was 4 books, so I've got 7 books back to back every 3 months, all the way to 2025. It has taken up some of my time, but Devastated, um, it was one of my dark. It was the darkest because it touches upon some lots of touchy there. Let's just say focus on the content and trigger warnings before reading that book. I make that known at the beginning of the book.
Yes.
um Switching gears, I need to switch back because I need to write honore honore's story. um Comes after Izzy. I got some ideas for that one, but I got to go dark again. So many people have asked me when is the next book in that series coming.
I wasn't actually gonna ask that because I know what your plate looks
Okay.
like. I was just like, I'm like, look, I'm impatiently patient. I'm gonna wait, but it's just, it's that when you write in different genres, it's always like, how do you get your mind right to be able to kind of not bounce back and forth necessarily, but like
Hmm.
shift gears. Like
Yeah, like how do
Alyssa
you turn
Cole,
off the
another
happy stuff, you
example.
know?
Alyssa Cole does that. Like you
Right.
have,
Because going
the
from rom-com to
historical,
dark romance
then the thriller.
is a
Like how do
switch.
you do? Yeah, and it's still in romance for you, but like it's
Yeah.
still significantly different approach to
Yeah.
those.
100%. It is difficult to do because, like with a rom com, I'm focused on let's get some laughter in there, let's get some joy. Um, with along like 50% romance, 50% comedy, so that
Mm-hmm.
we're laughing in there. It holds up the genre the way it's supposed to be, the subgenre, I should say. But with dark romance, you got to get your mind right. But it's not as hard for me just because of the fact that I'm a Pisces, okay? So for me it's like both ends of the spectrum, right? I'm either the happiest or give me horror movies. So romance or horror. That's where I live in those two. So dark romance is like the flip side of rom com. I'm over here on the other end of the spectrum, so it feels okay. Because I could tell you how to murder some people because I love true crime, I love horror movies, psychological thrillers. Right.
Hypothetically
Oh, well,
murder.
obviously. Don't ever look
Let's
at my
just throw
search
that out
history, okay?
there.
Never look at my search history. But yeah, hypothetically, I know about all these things. And if you even watch the news, the terror is there. So
Yeah,
I think it's not
yeah.
too hard to switch for me since I live in those two zones.
And that is something that I think also kind of lends to the creativity of a person, being
Hmm.
able to, like, of course, writing in one particular subgenre or genre is a talent in and of itself, but being able to kind of
Right.
do other things too.
Exactly.
So back to the accidental crush. Is there something that there is an abundance of in this book that we should be super excited about?
Can I just say there's more chili peppers and eggplants? That's like the sweetest way, the most rom com way of saying that there's a whole lot of steam and spice in here.
Let me like make sure my throat is clear.
Yeah,
Take
there's
some
fancy
medication because
lube.
I can't have. Ooh, ooh.
Yes, we got fancy lube
Oh,
outdoors. We got a lot of
oh,
outdoor stuff.
some
Okay.
exhibitionism.
Yes. Look,
Well, I
they
mean,
were
it is a
just
vineyard.
attracted to each other from the get go. So
No,
we
but
already
it's
knew it was
strictly
going to happen.
business.
I mean, that is it. She created Strictly Business because she was already attracted to him. And she was trying to stop herself. But the second that she
That
arrived
works so well.
at that estate, that fell almost out the door. I mean, she was going uncommando to try to stop things, okay?
Not reverse
Yeah.
commando.
Yes. I
Let
mean,
me put on something.
she threw her electronic device under the bed in the
Not the quote
suitcase to
marks.
stop herself, okay? She was doing all the
Ooh.
things to stop herself from ruining the Strictly Business. It didn't work.
Well,
Spoiler.
dang, you mean the romance actually ends with a happily ever after? How
Look,
dare you?
every one of mine does. I don't know what these strange people are like. Oh, does it have to have an HEA? Does a who done it have to have a murder?
Right. So I wasn't gonna really bring that up, but since we're there, what what is your take on that? And not in like the political
On
kind of
what?
way, but the fact that some people will go into a book expecting it to be something, but it is clearly stated that it is not that, and then will try to diminish the author's work by saying that it didn't match up to what it was supposed to be, but that's not what it's supposed to be. And we know there's incidents, I ain't naming them.
Right. I mean, there's always going to be those people who are looking to tear down an author or a book. They just come with the territory, and you have to. I mean, it sucks. Let's just put that right on the
Mm-hmm.
table. But you have to kind of ignore that because those are outliers. You never judge things by the outliers. You go straight to the 3 stars, and they will tell you what's really going on with the book. The people who are 1 stars, they probably just love you. I mean, they hate your guts and they just hate everybody. They probably hate themselves. Okay. The people who are given 5 stars, they either love it so much and you're thankful and grateful for them, and they just want to read for enjoyment. And I love 5 star people. Please, all the 5 star people, read my book. But then in the 3 star, if there's something you want to work on, the 3 stars will tell you.
Mm-hmm. That's very true.
Yeah,
Most
but
authors, I think,
outliers don't
don't
count.
read. Yeah, it's like there's nothing wrong with a 1 star if it's actually analytical, but
Yeah.
more times than not,
I
there
mean,
be some
usually, like
other.
if they
It
say,
seems other
oh, there's too
factors.
much sex, I will use that 1 star rating to promote. Thank you,
Yeah,
because
that
there's
is
somebody who does like a little sex.
promotion waiting to happen.
Oh,
Exactly.
they
Some
laughed too
people
much. It
like
was too
that.
much comedy. Thank you, appreciate it, because this is a rom com. Appreciate it. Like
I remember
somebody
talking
gave
to an
me,
author.
oh, go ahead.
Oh no,
You
I
were
was
going to
just
talk
going to
about
say I
author?
was having a chat with an author, and I'm not going to name them, but I was having a chat with an author, and they were saying that someone told them about a review that was on one of their books, and the review said it's too many gay people in this book,
And is
and
it
they
a
were like,
sapphic or
well, it is
queer romance?
a sapphic. It is a very
Well,
queer based, like it's a very queer series. So there was a sapphic book, there was two queer, a male and female, both queer, and then you had like two men. So you got your man loving your man, your woman loving your woman, and then your queer people just
look,
loving each other. And they were like, there's so many gay people in this book. And I'm like, that what it was very clear in the blurb,
you know,
honey.
I
So
worry about people like that. I do. Carry on. Go back over there. Because, I mean, it's literally in the nutrition facts here. And you're sad that it doesn't, I mean, that it has too much of it. I mean,
you're like,
you
oh
can't
no,
listen
look
to
at
those
all the
people. Those are
saturated
outliers.
fat. People are funny. Okay,
Yeah,
so we know what we getting an abundance of in the accidental crush. What
correct.
about this series? What is there an abundance of across the series? Because currently we know about two of the books because we got the pre-order up for
Yes.
the
The wedding
wedding
crush.
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 I was like,
Yeah,
let me think.
they're all crushes.
Let me think, right? Because I also was like, "Ooh, that come out in my birthday month. I'm excited." But we're gonna get to that in a
Yeah.
second. Across
Yes.
this series, what is there abundance of?
There's an abundance of vineyard references. There's abundance of wine. There's an abundance of sisterhood. Okay, because we've got the sister circle, and I love that because I
Mm-hmm.
really wanted to show, togetherness and connection between beautiful Black women who can root for each other. Then there's also family, lots of, built, found and um,
Blood,
blood family. I mean, that's all in there. You're going to get so much of that.
biological, whatever
And
word
then
you want to
because it's
choose.
me, there's going to be a lot of tropes because I love my tropes. And they're just the seasoning to me. I was watching a TikTok and this person was saying the tropes have a lot of these authors have gone too far with the tropes. And I think that is a possibility if people lean too heavy on it, but I use it as seasoning. Like we got the meat
Mm-hmm.
and bones, but you put that seasoning on it, it just makes it that much more fun. So,
I mean, who wants
yeah.
bland food?
Right. Give me some seasoning. I do not want your bland food.
Okay,
So
okay.
yeah.
How about across your writing in general? Because you have
Okay.
several series out. You know, we got Mixed Signals,
Yes.
another book I love. We have you have a lot of books in several series. Me, I love you so much. Okay, my little fangirl moment. Okay, so like, what is there an abundance of across your writing in general that you think?
Okay. We already talked about this, but for sure, there's going to be a strong woman in it.
Mm-hmm.
100%. All my heroines are strong willed, strong minded, and they've got a best friend or a homegirl or a cousin who is just rooting for them and going to tell them the straight truth. Okay. There's going to be a hero who is probably grappling with some type of trauma or past trauma or something, but he's strong enough to be with a strong woman. So, yeah,
We love
for
that.
sure. Yeah.
And yeah, I'm gonna just think of a particular friend group who's really good at being honest. We get that in the friendship contract.
Well,
They was not
but I love
playing. Like,
Damon.
girl, let
Damon
me
was
tell you about
just,
yourself.
yes. Damon was, he was my boo for, he's still one of my boos.
Yeah, that's a good book boyfriend right there.
I just love when they don't have to be so alpha, but they can
Hmm.
be strong, but they can be vulnerable enough with a woman. And I
Yes,
love that. That's sexy.
yes.
And they usually smell good. Confidence and cologne.
Listen, it, we love a man or a
Yes, we
woman
do.
or a non-binary person who can just smell good. You just
Look,
be like, I'm sorry, I
hygiene
don't mean
is
to bother
sexy.
you. I don't mean to interrupt what you're doing or stop your day, but you smell nice.
Yes. Look, I have sniffed my husband. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "You smell good. What do you want from me?"
That's real love right there. I just have to sniff it, baby.
Look, I mean
Okay.
that is not it's underrated is the way I feel. Put on some good cologne. It is
Hygiene?
and cologne.
Oh, yes.
Hygiene should always be on the list.
In real life and fiction. Because
Right.
people be doing some things and you're like, wait, have you showered?
Yeah.
Did you take a bath? Are your
Yeah.
feet clean?
Ew. Or under your nails clean. That's a thing for me.
Oh
Ugh.
no.
Ugh. Are your socks on the bottom clean?
Oh.
Are your
Have you
teeth
changed your
flossed?
clothes today? Whew. The list can
Look,
go
that's
on.
real talk right there. A man who flosses is important.
Mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Whew, okay. Well, to this other pre-order that we have, the Wedding Crush. I'm gonna read a little bit of that blurb too,
Uh-oh.
because again, I was like, I'm excited.
Right? This is how I
Okay,
feel
so
about Stefano.
I paraphrase a little bit because I pulled my favorite paragraph out of that blurb as well.
Okay.
Okay, so as Stefano and Avery work together to create a magical wedding day on the Fortemani vineyard, one word spats, sweet wine, and unexpected fun lead to glimpses of shared passion, purpose, and old wounds. There goes that like deep, deep little thing right there, which you
Yeah.
gotta have balance, and you do that anyway. But just as
Yes.
Stefano embraces the silver lining of his clouded past, Avery harbors a new secret that could change everything. Will these two guarded hearts open up to let love in again? Let's talk about it.
This one, oh my God. Can I just tell you can I go trope-tastic on you real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay. He is a jaded, divorcee, grumpy guy. We already knew that from the accidental crush, right? But Avery is sunshine, but she's also a widow and a single mom. I'm just saying, like, you already know, like, if you already are divorcee, you've been through some things, right? And if you're a single mom and a widow, you've been through some things. But how are they
Mm-hmm.
finding this joy together? Oh my God, this one is so good. I love weddings, and then the funny parts are just so funny on top of everything. And the fact that, okay, just let me give you a little bit of something. Okay, Avery already
Absolutely. I'm
hates his
here for it.
guts, right? She already hates his guts because he tried to get in the way of her best friend's relationship in book
Mm-hmm.
one. So she's already like, ugh, to you because you're not about to ruin my friend's happiness, right? And he's already like, okay, Miss Sunshine and Butterflies, No one needs you and all your little event planning. Life is really real, and you think everything is just so
Except,
happy. But what do they really know about each other until they get to know each other when he's the
mm-hmm.
best man and she is the maid of honor? Okay. And then on top of that, they're going to be stuck together to plan the wedding because she's an event planner. Yes. Enemies clashing into
I love
romance.
that.
Yeah. So we got a
I
lot.
love that. Okay, okay, okay. Listen, you have so much coming up. You have so much that you've already done. You wear like 80 million gajillion hats. Probably should take off some of those sometimes.
I've been doing a better
But
job. This year I've been doing a better job.
I commend you from the bottom of
Thank
my
you.
heart.
I'm gonna go ahead and accept that because I'm giving myself pats on the back this year for doing
Exactly.
what I need to do.
I'm happy. Make sure you hydrate. Everybody. Not
Hydration
just you, but
station.
everybody.
That's right.
Hydration station. Get you a good night rest
And take your vitamins.
and take your vitamins. Let's just remember that. And then read you a good book.
Yes.
The Accidental Crush. Uh, okay. So, what is something else that we can expect coming from you um, in the near future outside of this, if you could talk about something?
Okay, so we've got the accidental crush in February. We've
Mm-hmm.
got the wedding crush in June. Then I'll just tell you, you're going to get Kiara, which is his sister's book, and we're going to get Marcello's book. Okay, and then from the terms and conditions series with the friendship contract,
Yes.
we're going to be getting some more there. And when I get my mind right after this, like I'm almost done writing this series. When I finish that, I would like to get back to the dark romance. I have an idea for that has already been started. Like I'm already like 30% done with it. When I get some real time and I'm not on back to back deadlines, I'll be able to get that done. So yeah, so I'm excited
So
about
excited.
all of that.
Is there something that you can sum this book up in for your most, I guess, what word am I looking for? Your next release, not your most recent release because it ain't out yet.
Right.
If you could sum it up in just one word, that if you were passing somebody on the street and they're like, recommend me a book, what is this one about? What's one word that you would give The Accidental Crush?
Serendipity.
Ooh,
Yeah, because neither one of them were expecting to meet each other, and it is a happy accident.
that's so cute. Oh,
It's
it's
so rom
gross. It's
com,
so cute.
saccharine sweet.
If y'all don't follow Mia Heintzelman in all of her endeavors across the social medias, her website, if you haven't read her, you have to check out this amazing author.
Yes, and don't
Where can they
forget.
find you?
Well, let me remind everybody that there's still a Goodreads giveaway going on that goes through February 5th. So be sure to go enter that to win
Ooh,
the
yes.
Accidental Crush. Okay. And if you're going to be in California, coming up on the 4th of February, I'll be at a tea party with Jane Porter. So I'll be there and I'll be at
Ooh,
Steamy Lit this year. So we've got a lot of things coming up.
yes.
Where can you find me? Always at miaheintzelman.com. You can sign up for my newsletter there to get updates. You can find me on Instagram all the time at Mia Heintzelman Author. And now I'm doing my best. I'm not great at it, but I'm doing my best on TikTok. You can also find me there at Mia Heintzelman Author. And then I'm on X. I still don't want to call it that. To me, it's still Twitter. And I'm
I
just,
can't help it.
I just don't love it. Ugh. But yeah,
Like,
I'm
who
there
wants to go
too.
to their ex?
X just, it just feels like, no, this is a no, you know? X does not mark
It's
the spot.
absolutely not. And I was actually going to ask, what do you have going on for like in person if people want to get in contact with you? So it's you have that California date,
Yeah,
February
so I've
5th.
got the tea party, um, August is going to be Steamy Lit in
Steamy lit.
California. And
Awesome. Mm-hmm.
then I've got the Las Vegas Book Festival I like to go to every year since I'm here. That's in October every year.
So if you want to meet Miss Mia, trust me, she can talk your ear off in the best way.
Accurate. I will never deny that. I think I am like fun in person. You know,
You
like
are. You're fun in person. You're fun
I'm
virtually.
happy
You're
to
fun on
see
the
people.
phone.
Yeah, I like to talk to people. I
You're
like
just
to
a
hug.
ball of
I'm a big
sunshine.
hugger. Yeah, I get excited about seeing people. And
It's the
if you like
Pisces
to
in you.
read, you already got a friend in me. You know, you got a friend in me. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on and kicking off the show. And I'm so excited for your
And
releases
I'm
and
so
everything else
happy for
that's coming.
Ray's
And that'd be okay.
Corner.
I
Thank you
was
so
ready to get
much.
back to this. You don't even know.
I know you were because this is where you thrive. You are so good at it. And we are just so happy you're back. And thank you for letting me help open it up. So appreciate you and happy Black History Month. Happy Galentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day.
All of the love, self love, relationship love, black love.
Book
It's
love.
that month. Book
Yes.
love, all the love. Until next time, signing off. Good night.